Good evening. It's been quite a day. I hope you had a great day. I want to kick out for the new year on the topic of hope. In January, things seem to fizzle out, and a lot of people are, you know, get the winter blues. And it seems like this is when a lot of job cuts are taking place. So I just want to give some hope to anybody out there with health, finances, relationships, and where you think you're not where you want to be. I want to just start off that spiritually, we're spiritual and soul being, and God longs for us. He created us. And I know there's so much teaching out there about the universe and everything like that on but out there to the universe. Well, it's the creator, the Father, that just really longs to be with us and make us priority to him. So it's totally different when we connect with the Father versus having it be about religion. I just want to talk a little on this because there's a lot of heavy weight out there right now because of the economy changes and the shift into our world. And so I just want to say that there's always hope, even an ounce of hope, even if it's getting up and taking a few steps, whether it's reading into some books. It doesn't have to be the Bible. It can be where you're reading positive books about planning ahead, about your mindset, about your health, getting better, getting to the next level. And for so long, I feel like I've stayed at a lower level, because the cards just have not been dealt to me the way I like. And so I'm just fighting, it seems like, to make my own way. And the good thing is, I've heard you keep the Lord front and you keep striving, he'll reroute. And the main problem could be there's a huge delay. And of course, the worst is if you don't get access to what your destiny is or your blessing. So I just want to focus too on the promised land. When I heard Perry Stone say the promised land is actually our relationship with Jesus, or God, I should say, I was kind of taken because I thought the promised land was more a destiny, like blessings that we have and land that we're supposed to be at, um, that sort of thing, relationships. But it's actually our relationship with God. So with that being said, Matthew 6:33, we've heard this, and we can just have it first in our own life, second in our work, and third in our work with our families. Okay. Matthew 6:33, seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you, unto you. This King James version. And at times we scrunch our desires and work and then put it God, relationships, health, all in different categories. And so when we're putting this in, clumping it for excellence, it makes it puts it at a different light. And so I just want to put that out there, that it's all threaded in. That if we seek God then first, and especially our first fruit in the day, it depends on your job, your work, but to give our first fruits for him. And I want to say that, and then prayer. Prayer is so important, yes, because it vocalizes back to God, and we're in unison of what He's doing. So I want to say one thing that I saw. The group of us collectively prayed hard on, and it changed a world event in the U.S. I'm not going to go all into it. Some of you know what I'm saying, but I was floored. I was really floored that the Lord actually turn the tides, and what was supposed to have happened didn't. And it was because of many people praying and some fasting. But yay! It's really incredible because we don't think it's gonna be that effective at times, or when we're wallowing in depression, or what have. So have hope. Have hope. Jeremiah 29:11 is a wonderful scripture. I have plans for you, plans to keep you and not harm you. So we'll look ahead, look at the horizon. And the personal thing, one of the things I've done is draw out a plan with a list for God. I'm like, okay, in these few areas, this is where I'll be and where I'd like to go. And then just dedicate it to God. I have one that seems really impossible, but I still wrote it. And I still look for it. And meanwhile, poke to see who could support this, poke to see what else can take place, and inquire. So it doesn't mean just sitting and not doing anything. So, okay, the last week or so for me, I just stretched myself to do nice things for people. And it doesn't have to involve money all the time. And so it's just been really tough on my end, and I'm pushing through. But I'm really looking forward to this year because so many things are supposed to roll over from last year. And I'm really restructuring myself to be aligned to do those things. I would say I don't have a big social life right now because I'm focusing on several groups all at once. And for hope and lifestyle, I just urge you to revamp wherever you can. And I know people are cutting corners still, and they're almost being forced between layoffs and inflation and everything. And yeah, this whole thing with prices going down, they're not going down soon enough. But like in my other videos, and I'm taking the coursework now, I've got 11 more months left. But check into Cobb and Earthship Build. Check into possibly living with some friends or with your family to downsize so that the burden's not so heavy on you. That's what I recommend. Even if it's 1 or 2 lots, and you can build Cobb or something. And it doesn't have to be large, and you can always add on. And I plan to do a Cobb sauna, and the outhouse not next door, but somewhere in the vicinity, and these other structures so I don't have to rely on electricity. But if you do the Cobb, I mean, a cheap one, probably the lowest would be like $1,000 for a studio, an office, or it could be a haven for storms. And realistically, though, like I said in the other video on trends and so forth, and jobs, it's going to be more. It's going to be closer to 4,000, maybe even 6,000, 7,000. But the thing is, at least you can get your roof on, then the foundation, and put the stuff in, then start. Well, that's kind of hard to put the roof on only if you have like the pallets and then the roof. You could do the living roof or the metal roof after you're done. But basically, what I'm saying is get a shell. So I think if you can go in with family and have a talk with them, if you guys get along, you like each other, or have a game plan where even if it's 6 months, a year, until you can get more on your feet, or figure out the next plan, and with the land and everything. It looks like we'll have the crash, or it's starting to happen, where if you get land or real estate, this one man on a financial channel, his net worth was about 4 million, he said. And he recommended wait about a year, 6 months to a year to buy your property after a market crash. That's where you'll have the highest, your biggest bargain. And of course, we can't always time that. But I wanted to say that grow a garden, grow a container garden, or even if you have to, put plastic bags in the containers until spring. Yeah. So I don't know where you're at. The other is to get together with people. I think it's so important that we get together. In age, I think it can be tougher times making close friends unless you already have your niche. It seems like a lot of people in high school and up have established friends, and then it's harder for them to make new ones. Make time to go on nature walks, to have gatherings, even cookouts. I mean, if you have to, only once a quarter, but it's better than nothing, I guess. And right now, I'm really immersed in my project, but I really urge you to do that. The other is I urge you to go into royalties, anything where you'll collect royalties. Writing, especially for books or like for lyrics, for we need a lot more worship music and positive music, I think, to inspire people. Even if it's short pages, like 8 to 15 pages, and you can sell a link, something that you've done well on. I think the other is if more people can just be conscientious of actual things that were said, and even if you have to write it down, to do it. My ordeal is I want to get to places earlier. That's kind of my downfall right now. But I plan to change and just get things done ahead more. So I hope. Here's another passage, Jeremiah 17:10. I, the Lord, search the heart and examine the mind to reward each person according to their conduct, according to deeds deserve. This goes along with the heart, with Proverbs 21:2. A person may think their own ways are right, but the Lord weighs the heart. So in a day, it seems like a lot of people lie. That's what I'm dealing with. People lying around me, people that I know. And it's just like you're never used to it. Something that I'm reminded, well, I don't want to lie. And back to these scriptures, the Lord only knows your heart. And to keep having a pure heart, despite how the world is, despite how the world is saying, oh, well, the economy is this is what's going on. Yeah, it's dangerous out there. That the Lord is on your side, and we have to keep seeking Him and fighting, making better decisions. It's important that we voice and stand up. We're getting forced to do that. I just want to remind you about hope, love, having a future, and still doing what you can to make your life better, to help others, and to step outside of yourself. Because, yeah, it's really easy to be an introvert and not do anything for people. It's easy to be selfish, not even talk to people. And so I'm being forced to go out of my bounds and know and be reminded that there's more. There's more to life than just me. So I hope that. So I hope that you you can do all you can to have hope, to know that you matter. It's not always going to be your situation. And living in America, yeah, we have a lot of opportunities still. We can we can still do things, and sometimes it's about enjoying the simple things. And having great convos, laughs, and gathering with people that you may or may not know, and the people that you really know, to make effort, I guess, to spend some time with them too. I don't know if anybody else is doing this, but the last few days I've been watching some comedy, and it's just a nice break because there's so many heavy things going on in the world, and just as a reminder that we can laugh about some stupid stuff